Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Wednesday, March 6, 2019. Shown here are the precipitation trends for the past 7 days, and many areas across the Great Basin have seen above normal precipitation, especially over Idaho, western Nevada, and portions of southern Utah. Over the past 72 hours, we've seen snowfall accumulations between 6 to 18 inches over some of the higher elevations of central Nevada and southern Utah. Our snowpack across much of the area remains quite healthy for the time of year. This morning's satellite imagery shows some deep moisture moving into the Great Basin this morning. This is going to lead to some heavy amounts of precipitation, particularly over southern and eastern portions of the Great Basin. We'll see this low off the Pacific coast drop down towards the weekend, and that will bring some cooler temperatures. For today, we are looking for this deeper moisture to move into the Great Basin and bring some heavy precipitation starting later this afternoon. Ventilation rates are pretty good over Nevada and portions of western Utah. Wind speeds for today are quite high, especially over much of Nevada and much of central and southern Utah. And those mixing heights are going to be on the higher side in those areas as well. More of the same is expected for Thursday as much of this moisture remains in place across the Great Basin. Wind speeds will decrease significantly on Thursday, and we'll see an increase in some areas in the mixing heights. By Friday, the low will drop into the Great Basin, bringing a decrease in temperatures and turning the rain into snow, especially across the northern half of the area. Air quality parameters are not available for Friday, March 8th. But we do have the clearing index for the next couple of days. Fair values across the west and south for today and on Thursday, and then increasing region-wide by Friday. The 3-day precipitation totals are shown here with some pretty good forecasted amounts coming to eastern Nevada and much of Utah and up into eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. We could see in the northern Utah valleys between a half an inch to an inch of rain over the next couple of days, so a pretty good system moving through. On Saturday, another low begins to form off the California coast, and this will bring more moisture up into the Great Basin. Ventilation rates are pretty good for Saturday. And we'll see that low deepen somewhat and drop into southern California, continuing to bring a moisture feed into the Great Basin, particularly the southern Great Basin. On Monday, that low tracks south of the Great Basin, which will allow that moisture to remain in place across Utah and Nevada, with somewhat drier air over Idaho. Ventilation rates decrease a bit on Monday, but we'll see those values increase again on Tuesday as the low tracks off to the east and westerly to northwesterly flow returns to the Great Basin. The precipitation accumulations for days 4 and 5 are shown here. Most of the precip heading into the first of next week is going to be centered over the southern Great Basin, particularly southern Nevada and into southern Utah. The extended forecast for the middle of March, the 13th through the 19th, is still calling for below normal temperatures region-wide, but we may begin to see a bit of a break in the precipitation that we've been seeing and will see this week. This concludes today's smoke dispersion briefing. Please check back on Friday for the latest updates.